I'm Amanda Alexander, the founder and executive director at the Detroit Justice Center. I would say from the very beginning of the Detroit Justice Center, it's been important for us to think about not just what we're tearing down in terms of policing and jails and prisons, but also focusing on what we're building up and what organizers across the country are already building up in terms of creating abolition as a presence.
I am Casey Rocheteau. I'm the communications manager at the Detroit Justice Center. There's a backlash right now, I think, happening in mainstream media when it comes to this, what people are seeing as a new demand to defund police or around abolition. But we did talk to an organizer in Seattle where, for instance, now when people are calling the police are telling people, oh, we can't help you because we've been defunded, when that's not actually the case at all. It's happening on a local level. It's happening in the media. That's the narrative. It's like, well, you heard about defund the police and now we're telling you that it happened even though it didn't, and so we're going to use that as an argument to bolster the machine of incarceration and funnel money back towards police and incarceration.
We have always tried to have an intentional communication strategy that Casey can really speak to in terms of not just spotlighting what are the problems, but who are the movement builders who are already resisting it, that we can be learning from and in conversation with. And so Freedom Dreams was, the tagline is, we believe another world is possible and we're talking to the people who are building it. So the idea is that we knew that, particularly in this conversation around defund the police and divest, invest, and abolition, that there are people who have been doing this work for a very long time that should be really leading and at the center of these conversations.
And making sure that, if we had a conversation with someone here in Detroit about participatory budgeting, and then also we're talking to the ED of the Participatory Budgeting Project, we're also getting a perspective of an organizer in Seattle where participatory budgeting has gone sort of in a different direction than it has here in Detroit so far. So give people the perspective of, oh, there's all of this work being done, not just here in Detroit, but around the country to make these moves.
I'm particularly interested in reaching young people who might be in their teens, who are trying to think about, I want to get involved in organizing. Maybe they took to the streets last summer and they want to know, okay, beyond taking to the streets, which is so important, and protesting what we don't want, what can we learn from people who are building up what we do want and need?
Check out our podcast at freedomdreamspodcast.com.
You can listen to us anywhere you find podcasts, including Apple Podcast and Spotify. And if you love our show and want it to reach a broader audience, then rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.